Upgrade box 35. Let's see what's inside. This is the last box for my subscription because they did raise their prices and it's just slightly out of my budget now. So I'm very excited to see what's in here. Super cute people. And let's just see. It's always packaged up so nicely in the tissue paper, and I always end up tearing it, so I'm gonna cut it. Okay, let's see. And it's gouache. That's so cool. I do paint a lot with gouache, so I'm very happy to have some extra tubes. I just got this from another unboxing that I will upload later. The exact same white paint, white gouache, and Dutch is plakkaatverf, so that's what it's saying there. And we got a Van Dyke Bruin, or how do you say that? Van Dyke Brown, I guess. A pink and a heavy body acrylic. So we have one acrylic and 3 gouache and a washi tape. Okay, now let's see what's underneath. We have a palette. It's a plastic one. They always come in handy. I do prefer using ceramic palettes because they're just so much easier to clean and the paint just behaves a little bit differently on it. So it's easier to get on your brush and easier to mix, but this is fine. Then we have the bottle post and some paper. 3 strips of watercolor paper. They're not super heavy, but they look okay. Yeah, some stickers. Super cute stickers this time. And prints. Love the landscapes. More landscapes. My Instagram is almost exclusively just following the people that do this, like the sketchbook art with gouache. Okay, here we can see in the little zine that they have different kinds of palettes, and we have the one with the brown and pink. So that's the one on the left side. So that's interesting. And I will read through this later, I think. And that's all. So, like I said, I do paint in gouache in my normal life. So here's my sketchbook to actually show you what I made like the last couple of weeks. I do paint landscapes. I mean, not all of them are good, but I do paint landscapes with gouache. So having a box that has landscapes and gouache is very up my alley. I do already have a lot of gouache, but you know, white always runs out, so that's okay. And pink and brown is interesting as well, so I'm excited to try it out. And I've never used this brand before. So let's see what we can make out of this. I'm very curious about the heavy body acrylics and how it's gonna work with gouache. So first I'm gonna tape down the paper. And then we're gonna paint the landscape that you see in the little zine that they included. They gave some landscape ideas, so I'm just gonna speed this up for you because otherwise I think it might be boring. But yeah, I'm just sketching down what we're gonna draw. So that's the landscape on the left, and they say that we should be able to draw this with this color palette. So we'll see if we can do that. Spoiler, no. But we can get somewhere close. We can use it as inspiration. So the pink actually goes into a very nice soft pink. And here I added some blue and brown to make it slightly darker and lighter again. And I just played around with it. And what I did not account for was how super duper 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 different the heavy body acrylics is. You see every brushstroke you put down, it's shiny instead of matte like the gouache. It doesn't reactivate, of course, I knew that, but still, it doesn't reactivate. So everything you put down is put down. And I think it's the beauty of heavy body acrylics that you see your brush strokes, but like in a 3D effect, so you can really see how you pushed your brush into the paper. But I don't want that with my gouache mostly. And it was weird that only everything you mixed with the blue did that and everything else didn't. The white did very slightly because it's cheaper whites. I always get my whites pretty cheap as well because I will mix it with other colors anyways. But the white is it's a cheap brand. It's a lens brand. It's not that great gouache. I mean, the gouache is fine, but I had some instances where it all separated in the tube and you wasn't that great to use anymore. It was a real hassle to use, and then it was glimmery and shiny, and it shouldn't be. So here I'm just painting the mountains, and I was struggling with getting as dark of a color. Thought that if I would mix brown with pink and a little bit of the blue, I would get a really dark color. And I did, but it took me a couple of tries to get it. And because I can't reactivate what's underneath, it doesn't blend as pretty as I'm used to. And then for the field, I didn't really know what to do because if we see the picture, it's a very small picture, but it's a pretty boring field. So I added some flowers to give it a little bit of dimension. Let me know what you think of this one. I did make the sky a lot more blue. And now if you squint your eyes, maybe it's mountains all the way to the top. Maybe it's halfway clouds. You know, it's in the eye of the beholder. I won't hang this on my wall, but it was very fun to try out. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with this box. It's a big step up from the previous two boxes. But still, the boxes before the previous two that I didn't get, but I did see on YouTube, of course, they were really, really, really cool. Like, really awesome. So I'm still a little bit disappointed I didn't get any of the super cool boxes. But this is fine. I'm gonna use it in my daily life. It's not money wasted, so to say. I'm still curious about the heavy body acrylics that they added, but you know, that's okay. And here in this super quick last minute thingy that I made, I just wanted to try it out with just the gouache and not the heavy body acrylics to see how that would fare and how the gouache would be. And it's okay, I guess. If you do want to use gouache yourself, like I did here, I would recommend Holbein gouache or Winsor & Newton gouache. Just get like 5 tubes and you'll be fine to start out. It's a little bit more expensive, I guess, than this gouache, but it makes it so much easier for you. So, okay, thank you so much for watching the scales and unboxing, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye!